Vision language models are getting better at seeing, but they still struggle with complex spatial and compositional reasoning. To bridge that gap, researchers started giving models a kind of mental workspace, continuous latent tokens that act as intermediate visual steps. Think of it like a chain of thought, but for images. The model generates these latents to manipulate, or imagine, visual features before outputting a text answer. It sounds like a breakthrough. But what if I told you that, in most cases, these latent tokens are completely ignored by the model? That replacing them with random noise, zeros, or even skipping them entirely leaves performance completely unchanged. Today, we're diving into a recent study that puts latent visual reasoning under a microscope, and the results reveal two fundamental bottlenecks holding the field back: a latent bypass problem and representation collapse. Let's quickly establish how these systems actually work. In architectures like LVR, Monet, ILVR, and LantRN, the model is augmented with special delimiter tokens, a latent start and a latent end. When the model hits the start token, it stops generating discrete text and switches to autoregressively predicting continuous latent vectors. These vectors are meant to encode intermediate visual states. During training, the model is optimized with a dual objective. First, a standard cross-entropy loss for next token prediction. Second, a latent alignment loss that uses mean squared error, or cosine distance, to pull the model's generated latents toward oracle representations. These oracle latents are typically computed by passing intermediate images, often cropped subregions of the original input, through a frozen vision encoder and averaging the features. After this supervised fine-tuning stage, many methods switch to reinforcement learning, removing the oracle supervision and optimizing purely on downstream task performance. The theory is that by learning to reconstruct these intermediate visual states, the model develops a structured, spatially aware reasoning capability. But the researchers behind this study asked a critical question: do these latents actually causally influence the final prediction? To test this, they ran standard inference on off-the-shelf checkpoints, and then performed severe interventions. They replaced the model's generated latents with uninformative dummy tokens, Gaussian noise, constant zeros, random subregions from unrelated images, and even a skip intervention that immediately inserted the latent end token, forcing the model back into text-only generation. Across benchmarks like Blink and VStar, performance barely budged. In some cases, accuracy even slightly improved. This is the latent bypass problem. The model has learned to route around the latent pathway entirely. Why does this happen? The answer lies in the training data. Most existing datasets, like VisCoT, use intermediate images that are just cropped subregions of the original picture. From an information theory perspective, these oracle latents are a lossy compression of data the model already has direct access to. There's no incentive for the network to learn a complex mapping through the latent space, when it can just extract the relevant features directly from the image embeddings. To prove this, the authors designed a diagnostic setup. First, they masked the relevant subregions in the input image, so the only way to solve the task was to rely on the oracle latents derived from the intermediate image. Second, they created a synthetic Tetris-like dataset, where the model must learn analogical rotation reasoning. In both cases, when the latent tokens provided genuinely non-trivial, non-recoverable information, the model learned to rely on them. Accuracy dropped to chance level whenever those latents were replaced with dummy tokens. This confirms that the bypass isn't a flaw in the architecture itself, but a direct consequence of training data that fails to scaffold meaningful visual reasoning. Even if we fix the data, there's a second, equally stubborn issue. The latents the model actually generates at inference time are practically useless. The researchers ran a deep diagnostic analysis, comparing predicted latents against oracle latents. They measured cosine similarity between consecutive time steps, calculated retrieval rates to see how often a predicted latent matched its corresponding ground truth, and introduced a metric called unrelated self-generated preference, which tracks how often a predicted latent is closer to a random other prediction than to its own oracle. The results were stark. Predicted latents across all four architectures collapsed into a highly similar, narrow region of the latent space. They were over 90% similar to each other, yet barely correlated with the diverse, task-relevant oracle representations. In other words, the model isn't just ignoring the latents. When it does generate them, it's producing nearly identical, low-information vectors that fail to capture the geometric or spatial nuances of the task. The autoregressive generation process itself seems to drive this collapse, with similarity increasing step by step, until the latent chain becomes a flat, uninformative signal. The only exception was Monet, which uses an autoregressive teacher to generate its oracles, suggesting that how we construct the supervision signal directly impacts whether the latent space remains diverse or collapses. So, what does this mean for the future of latent visual reasoning? The paper points to two clear pillars for progress. First, we need high-quality diagnostic datasets where intermediate visual steps provide genuinely new information that cannot be trivially extracted from the raw input. If the scaffolding is weak, the model will bypass it. Second, we need training objectives and architectural choices that prevent representation collapse. Monitoring metrics like within prediction similarity and retrieval accuracy against oracles should become standard evaluation practices. The field is moving fast, but without addressing these foundational bottlenecks, latent reasoning risks remaining a computationally expensive illusion rather than a functional reasoning mechanism. The good news is that the diagnostic frameworks and synthetic datasets introduced here are publicly available, giving the community a clear path forward. If you're working on multimodal reasoning, spatial understanding, or latent chain-of-thought architectures, this paper is a must-read. It doesn't just break down what's not working. It gives us the exact metrics and experimental setups needed to build what will. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.